Over 16 million people lost their lives. The empires crumbled. The world was forever changed. This was the World War I, one of the deadliest conflicts in the human history. But why did it happen? What caused this global war that reshaped the 20th century? The truth is, World War I wasn't caused by just one event. It was the result of decades of tension, rivalries, and a single spark that set the world on fire. Today, we are diving into the real causes of the World War I, from the long-term tensions to the assassination that changed everything. So let's get started. To understand why World War I happened, we need to look at the long-term causes that created a powder keg in Europe. These are often summarized by the historians as the main causes, which is as in M for militarism, A for the alliances, I for imperialism, and N is for nationalism. So first up is militarism. In the early 1900s, European powers were obsessed with building up their armies and navies. And it was like a giant arms race. Germany and Britain in particular competed to have the strongest military. This created a sense of paranoia, and everyone was preparing for war. And it only took months apart for the war to set off. Now, next up is the alliances. Europe was basically divided into two major alliances. One of them was the Triple Entente, made up of France, Russia, and Britain. And the other one was Triple Alliance, which was basically made up of Germany, Austro-Hungarian Empire, and Italy. So these alliances were supposed to keep peace, but they actually made things more worse and dangerous. If one country went to war, the allies of that country had to go to war with them as well. They had no choice. Then there's imperialism. European powers were competing for colonies and resources around the world. This led to rivalries and tensions, especially between Britain and Germany, who both wanted to dominate it globally. And then finally, there is nationalism. There was a time when people had intense pride in their countries and in their nations. But this pride also led to competition and conflicts. And in places like the Balkans, Slavic nationalism was on the rise, threatening the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This was just an example. So all of these factors, basically militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism, created a tense environment in Europe. But it just took one event to ignite this powder keg in Europe.
So that event came on 28 June 1914, which was the basis of the start of all this war. On June 28, 1914, in Sarajevo, Bosnia, Franz Ferdinand, who was the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, was assassinated by a Bosnian Serb nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. The assassination wasn't just a random act of violence. It was the result of rising tensions in the Balkans, where Slavic nationalists wanted independence from Austro-Hungarian Empire. So the Austro-Hungarian Empire blamed all of it on Serbia for the assassination and issued a harsh ultimatum. When Serbia refused to fully comply, Austro-Hungarian Empire declared war on them. But here's where things get escalated. Because of those alliances we talked about earlier, Russia stepped in to support Serbia. Germany, who was allied with Austro-Hungarian Empire, declared war on Russia, and then France. When Germany invaded Belgium to attack France, Britain joined the war to defend Belgium. In just a matter of weeks, what started as a regional conflict in the Balkans had turned into a full-blown European war.
Once the war began, it spread like wildfire. By August 1914, Europe was divided into two sides: the Allied powers, which included Britain, France, and Russia, and the Central powers, which included Germany, Austro-Hungarian Empire, and later the Ottoman Empire.
But it didn't stop there. The war soon became a global conflict. Colonies of European powers were dragged into the fight. The Ottoman Empire joined the Central powers, bringing the Middle East into the war. And in 1917, the United States entered the war after events like the sinking of Lusitania and the Zimmermann telegram. What started as a regional conflict had now become a world war.
World War I was a tragedy that cost millions of lives and reshaped the world. It was caused by a combination of long-term tensions and a single spark as well. But what do you think? Could World War I have been avoided, or was it inevitable given the tensions of the time? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more history content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.